Hi and welcome back to my series of videos where I play my own Mario Maker levels. Firstly, an apology about the annoying audio in the last video. I didn't realize my Wii U gamepad controller was blasting audio out as well right near my microphone, so that was probably pretty annoying. But you could still hear me talk and you know what Mario sounds like, so oh well. I've turned it down now, so hopefully that works. I don't think I've ever made videos from my Wii U before, so that's not something I've ever had to think about. So in this video we're moving on. I've unlocked Super Mario World at this stage and started trying to make some more complicated levels. Starting with Shell Gadgets, which was probably one of the first levels I uploaded, which I was actually really happy with. And actually got a bunch of design feedback from, and then made a second version which I'm going to play afterwards. So let's play Shell Gadgets. I've come to appreciate while playing Mario Maker just how much you can do in the Super Mario World moveset. The jumping, the spinning. The spinning you'll see over and over again in my coming up videos. Ability to throw shells upwards. Ability to catch them again. Ability to throw a shell, spin and catch it and spin with the shell. There's just so much you can do. Anyway, but let's play this level. Let's deliberately restart. Anyway. So I called it Shell Gadgets because I wanted to make weird devices that use the shells. So here what you're meant to do is throw this up here, it bounces up there. Oh dear. And you get the P block, the P switch. A lot of people had problems with this one. Firstly, they kept getting killed by the shell, or they kept collecting those coins too early. But this is what you're meant to do. So then you've got these clouds here, and people saw up here, and as you can see by that comment, people found it really hard to make this jump up here, which was not something I ever wanted people to do. So clearly at this point when I made this level, I still wasn't really thinking about communicating my level design visually to my players. So you can get up here and you can see up there. And so I put these flying clouds here right at the end just because I thought they looked cool, and I didn't think about players standing on them. And people kept trying to do that and kept dying. So also, just how good does Super Mario World look? Just the vibrancy of these colors and these sprites. There's so much moving. It just looks so good. Anyway, so you get across. And this is where I expected players to go. Come over and see this rail. So this beanstalk was meant as a secret, like a way to kind of skip this part of the level. Again, because I just like shortcuts. I put this here so you started going up, you're like, oh no, I need that fire flower, so it kind of forces you to go back down again. I thought that might be fun. So again, you see my zigzag pattern of levels, which I keep doing. But I thought that beanstalk would be a nice shortcut. But what I didn't realize, and this goes back to what I said in a previous video about Mario being so unpredictable when you're making it to make a level that's waterproof, is that you can just do this. And I did not notice that at all until I noticed my friend Joel play the level on his live stream. But I like that. I kind of like, that it's difficult to make a non-breakable level. Then I wanted to use invincibility in an interesting way, I guess, as in like actually requiring it. This was just meant to be like a secret area up here. I try to get in the habit of always having at least 3 1-ups on a level for people doing the 100 Mario challenge. You know, just looking out for them. So then you get here, and my hope was this would look like a larger version of the original Shell Gadget at the start of the level. And this is what you're meant to do. A lot of people had trouble with this though. And it goes off screen. And sometimes you get like 5 P switches, sometimes you get 1. It's pretty So these conveyor belts just fling you around without if you don't flick the P switch first, and then you got to get all the way through to here, or else blocks the coins turn back to blocks. So I'm kind of like repeating ideas a lot in this level, somewhat deliberately. But here, instead of invincibility, you use Yoshi to get down underneath the question mark box to again open up a beanstalk on rails. And this time you have to maneuver around some saw blades. I think I put a 1-up in there again. I'm not going to try to get it. And then I think I put another 1-up over there. And then at this point there were no checkpoints yet available, and I realized this level's getting long. So I thought if people miss their jump, I wanted them to be able to not die, because it just kind of seemed annoying. So I put collapsible platforms down the bottom so that you can bring yourself back up. And that was Shell Gadget. So I was really happy with that level when I made it. I think it's also the first level I made that uses the full distance available for a level. Yeah, must be. Anyway, so I'll play Shell Gadgets, the updated version in a bit, but I guess I should do this in order. So this is a completely silly level I made. I was mucking around just doodling in the editor one night, trying to get some inspiration. And I noticed that Gumbos act really funny underwater around music blocks. So I made a Gamergate themed level off it. So you've got these coins, they just say actually, you know, as every Gamergater starts their war cry. I only got here and I've got this kind of section. There's nothing to do here except move on. And all these Goombas just start drooling out of everywhere. Just like all trying to get to you. Or just drifting around, or like kind of drooling out of a corner of this like face's mouth. So I guess like it's kind of like a visual work. In the sense that there's just all these Goombas all attacking this one person, just as Gamergate does. And also it kind of looked like a mouth moving up and down while all the Goombas were in it, just going blah 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 blah, like Gamergate does. Anyway, and you can stand there for as long or as short as you want. And then you just come to the end, and you can just end the game if you want. Or you can get this entirely cathartic, taking out all the Goombas. And then sometimes you get killed by another Goomba behind you, because just like Gamergate. So yeah, really silly level. I thought it was kind of funny. Some people seem to appreciate it. I don't know which of these comments are from actual Gators and which are from people laughing at Gators, which is problematic. There's one comment of like a Goomba wearing a fedora, which was funny. Anyway, let's never talk about that level again. Anyway, we should play the next Shell Gadgets as well, just to, I guess, show some design iteration, how I like saw people play it, saw them make mistakes, and I tried to make it so you're less likely to get stuck. So immediately we see some differences here. I've added these conveyor belts instead of coins, so you can't get yourself stuck by collecting the coins. And it's pretty hard. Okay, it's kind of hard to get up there, but not impossible. Yeah, I guess that's completely broken. YOLO! I should have made a wall of blocks right at the front of it as well. Anyway, I've added more than one Koopa here. No, the pipe already existed, but I've moved the pipe so that it's in a less annoying position. And then the shell doesn't come back down anymore. It bounces off there and falls in the crevice. So just trying all these different ways to make it less annoying for people. And then the idea was you can run up and over. This is the same. Got rid of a cloud so people didn't get confused as to where they're meant to be going. Everything up here is exactly the same. Change this rail just so it felt more... When you were out of sight of a rail earlier, when it was going up and down, you didn't really notice that it was actually moving. So I thought making it a left-right kind of rail would make that more interesting. This one I think I haven't really changed much. I'm not sure. Yeah, it seems pretty much the same. People still find it really fiddly. I think people try to go up here first. Yeah, I think the rest of the level is exactly the same, so I'm just going to exit the course here because you don't need to see it. Anyway, but that was really interesting, trying to iterate on a design based on feedback, which is not something I've ever done before. I found it really interesting to do. It's kind of annoying you can't just update a level, but you have to upload a new one. And then I don't want to delete this one because it had comments and stars and everything. Anyway. So then Proletariat. People seem to want to dig all this deep meaning out of this level, think it's like a political level, which I guess it kind of is, but like the name came after the level itself. So what I thought would be fun would be making a level where you just got to walk after Goombas for the whole thing. It's incredibly tedious, a little bit fiddly. If I'd known how to choose which character you turn into for question mark mushroom, I would have made this level so that you turned into a Goomba as well. But at the time I didn't know you could do that. But I wanted to make it not just left, right and going down, so I used springs and stuff to make it so that you could actually get some verticality as well. And at the start, even if you run full speed, I don't think you can get ahead of the first Goomba. I've had to add these one-way gates because sometimes the Goombas just bounce off each other and turn around and try to go backwards. So it was a really difficult level to not screw the player over. I tried for a while, I couldn't make it work, make a level called the Bourgeois, and it was going to be a copy of this level with the Goombas going through here. The bourgeoisie, I should probably say. And there would be a door to right at the left at the start, and you would go up and you'd walk over the top of the level instead of through it, so you could finish it really quickly. Make a really clever commentary, clever quote unquote, on class privilege. This level isn't actually meant to be really meaningful, I just thought it was like a funny thing to call it. The red overalls kind of add a lot to it as well. So yeah, all these one-way gates I used to have the Goombas go where I wanted them to go and not screw over the player. Added Goombas coming out of other places just so it looks like there's a larger production chain of workers everywhere. At about this point, like, it's feeling pretty tedious. Like, you know, the novelty of the ideas worn off. I want to break free. So they fall down there, and you're meant to go up through this pipe, or else you just have to lap again. And then it just keeps going. There's some in front of you, some behind you. I thought being big will, like, make it a bit different. So there you had an example of them going backwards when I didn't want them to. All those small Goombas down there can't actually get to you. I just wanted more movement on the screen. Thought ice would make it difficult. Doesn't affect the Goombas at all, but it makes it difficult for you. Just playing it up a bit. A lot of people wanted to go over here and jump to see if there was a secret, which sadly there is not. And then back into the small Goomba chain of production. So yeah, I still really like this level. Super silly, but you know. And every single Goomba gets to finish the level. They all bounce up and touch it, which, you know, I like equality and all that. Yeah, people were calling it a social commentary level, um, which, like, with that name, it's hard to, you know, challenge that. But I don't know. It's interesting. The name was like entirely after a fact. I was probably testing. And I was like, oh, I could call it the Proletariat just for fun, and that seemed to add a lot for people. What I'd called it. Right, so by this point I'd unlocked airships, the airship kind of tile set, and I thought I'd try to make some of actual airships in it. This is probably one of my first levels where I wasn't trying to do any single gimmick or any single idea. I just wanted to make a Mario level. I just wanted to make a level where you do some platforming and get to the end. So those clouds up there are flying out of sync. That's something I struggle with a lot, with how objects load in on the edge of the screen. Like, I'd put them there and you test it and they're all like flying in sync. But then you play the game and they load in from a certain point from the start as you reach them. And it doesn't quite work. And it's something I really struggle with. Oh dear. Like, those wheels there should have been more evened out, but they ended up together for some reason. You still see my like zigzag kind of level design happening. Oh, what's... So I added this flying spike creature. Oh dear. To this rail, and it shoots out spikes when it's got wings. I thought that could be a fun, weird thing to try to get around, but it's actually pretty tedious. And then you go inside an airship. Like, this is meant to be the insides of that airship. No. I've got these coins you can't reach. I did that because I've got a power block here. But you also need to kill that thing, which I guess I did not do. That's annoying. I didn't know that wouldn't kill it. And then you go from that airship into another airship for a teleporting door, I guess. And then back out to the outsides of the airships. So I guess I've played a lot of airship levels at this point. I just wanted to, you know, figure out how they work. Thus the name Airship. Oh, damn it. Thus the name Airship Study 1. Which is also a joke of a friend's game they made at RMIT in their game design course called Movement Study 1. So I thought it'd be funny to name my Mario Maker levels like that. Hi Sam. So with rails, there's that white square on the end. You can turn the white square off and then things fall off instead of bounce back, which is what was happening to those gears. Don't even really need that beanstalk, you can just like jump to get over clouds. Let's try this again. There we go. That's what's meant to happen. At this point I hadn't thought to use platforms with backgrounds to use as interior walls. It's not something I'd considered yet. I saw a lot more people doing that once I started playing more levels. So you'll see that happen more in my later levels. Oh dear. Then I just added some like aerial platforming for the fun of it. Right, and then around this time I learned that you can use bombs to blow up blocks. And this is something I do on like a bunch of levels from here on out. Probably overused it really. I got like far too obsessive using bombs. But that's probably enough for this one. What's next? Yeah. Jerk course. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Alright, let's finish that there and pick it up with wrong way next time. Cheers.